Hey guys, so today's video is going to be all about base coats. I get questions all the time about what kind of base coats I use and what kind of base coats I'd recommend for other people to use. And base coats are kind of a tricky subject. It totally depends on your nails and what you need. So I hope this video is informational and helps you to decide what type of base coat it is that you need. So what I'm going to do is talk about each base coat that I have and what purpose they serve and whether I like them very much or not. I'll start with my least favorites and end with my absolute favorites. So first up, I have Nail's Bulletproof Strengthening Base Coat. I bought this in a hurry because I was out of town with my husband and I needed a base coat super quick. So we went to CVS and I got it. I absolutely hate it. It is horrible. I do not recommend it. It's really thin and it also leaves really tiny, fine, hair-like pieces on the nail. It's not a good base coat. I just needed it because I was in a bind. I don't recommend it. Next, two base coats I'm going to talk about together because they kind of go hand in hand. I bought these two at Sally's when they were in a clearance bin for like 75 cents. They're by Palladio. One is green tea fortifier and the other one is calcium fortifier. So here you go. Here's the calcium and here's the green tea. They're okay. I usually use them when I mix polishes together and stuff. They're just kind of one of those cheaper brands that if you absolutely have to have it, then it's okay. But I definitely wouldn't recommend them unless you're in a bind of some sort. But they're actually not as horrible as the previous base coat I mentioned. So the next base coat we'll talk about was basically my lifesaver. When I first started getting into nails and learning how to care for nails, I used to be horrible about picking the flakes of my nails, like they were flaking off in layers, and I just pick and pick and pick. And they were completely dented. They were super, super thin. They were horrible, horrible shape. So I've got this. It's by Seshevit. This is called Rebuild. It's for weak, brittle nails that flake and chip all the time, that are really, really thin, and it saved my life. I mean, as you can see, this thing is almost empty. It's super crusty. It's so old, but it definitely got my nails into a much nicer shape. So if you just have really brittle, weak, chipped, flaky nails, I recommend this. The next base coat I'll talk about is a ridge filler. If you have huge dents in your nails from removing acrylics, or you pick at your nails and cause dents like I used to, you need a ridge filler. I highly recommend Sally's Bridge the Ridge. It's made at Sally's Beauty Supply. It's wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. It's a thicker base coat and it dries really quick. So it'll provide a pretty decent size layer on your nail before you put your polish on. But it'll just fill in those ridges and those dents, and it'll make it look like your nail is completely smooth. I absolutely love it. I don't use it much anymore because I don't have dents or chips anymore. But when I did, this stuff saved my life. The next base coat is also by Sally's. It's called Jealous with a G-E-L. It's the green one. I think it's fabulous. It's basically just a thick base coat that's meant to give you an extra layer to make it look like you've got a professional gel manicure or shellac manicure, thicker manicures of that nature. I like this as a base coat, but I really like it as a top coat. I use it when I use really tricky, clumpy glitters like Lindarella's. If you put it on top of those glitters, it'll help them lay down flat and it'll make a smooth surface. So it's wonderful for base coat or top coat. This next base coat was made and given to me by a friend, the Crafty Ninja. If you're not following her, you need to be because she's awesome. She sent me this PVA base coat. It's a peel-off base coat. Basically, it's for when you're going to use glitter nail polish, because we all know how horrible glitter is to remove. Even if you try the tinfoil method, it's awful. So you put this base coat down and you put your glitter down. When you're ready to take it off, you can just peel it all off in one big piece, and it's awesome for removing the glitter. That's basically the whole point of this base coat, is to make glitter removal painless. The next base coat I'm going to talk about is an alright base coat. It's definitely not one of my favorites, but it's okay. It's OPI's Nail Envy. Now this is the original formula. This is not the matte version. So it's really, really watery. You can see just from shaking it around in the bottle that it's super watery. And it's really, 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 really thin. So it's a nail strengthener. So if you have brittle nails, that's what you would use this base coat for. But I don't like how thin and watery it is. Like I said before, I prefer really thick base coats. So this will get the job done, but it's definitely not one of my absolute favorites. I've also tried Dury Rejuvicoat. Now I know there's a ton of girls out there that rave about this product and how much they love it, love it, love it. I'm one of those that's on the fence about it. It was okay, but it definitely wasn't my favorite. It's also really thin and watery. You can see just from sliding it around in the bottle that it's super thin and watery. So it's okay. It's also a strengthener. It's for weak, brittle nails. It's basically to get your nails back into a healthy shape. Really, I don't have a need for these type of base coats because my nails are in a good shape. But I still didn't like how thin and watery it was. Now the last two base coats I'm going to show y'all are my favorites. Every time I do my nails, I wear two base coats. And I don't know that I could live if I didn't use two base coats. The first base coat I put on is OPI Nail Envy, but the matte version. I just told you all about the original version and how watery and thin it was. This is the complete opposite. It's thick and it's matte, so it dries super quick. I love, love, love it. It keeps my nails in tip-top shape. As you can see, it's pretty thick, so it's not going to just drip right off the brush. And I love the appearance of a thick nail. It just looks like professional. I don't know. That's my opinion. But I absolutely love it. So by the time I get all 10 fingers painted with this, it's already dry and ready for another base coat. So my next base coat is Essie Grow Faster. I love this polish. I mean, it's pretty thick too. As you can see, it doesn't necessarily slide around in the bottle like the rest of them do. It's really thick, and I love that. It helps your nails grow faster, and so if you have short, stubby nails and you want to grow them out, I recommend using this. You can look back, way back in my Instagram feed and find when my nails were super, super, super long. That's because of Essie Grow Faster. It's wonderful. But this does not dry quite as quick as any of the rest of them. And so you do have to wait a couple of minutes before applying your polish after using this base coat. Now, if you're looking for a base coat that's just a plain Jane, regular base coat, then I would recommend Essie All-in-One. It's just your basic base coat. Or if you're looking for a base coat that helps keep your nail polish on for quite a while, I highly recommend Orly Bonder. It's a rubberized base coat that is specially made to keep your nail polish on for quite a while. I don't have to worry about that. That's not an issue for me since I do change my nail polish every single day. So I don't care if a base coat keeps my nail polish on for a while. So that makes no difference. But if that is what you're going for, then I would recommend Orly Bonder or Essie's All-in-One. Other than that, you really, really have to look at your nails and decide what it is that you're needing out of a base coat, because they're not like top coats. They each serve a different purpose. So if you have really dented, chipped, ridged nails from acrylics or picking, you need a ridge feeler, and you also probably need a rebuilder to get your nails back into good shape. If you just have weak, fragile, brittle nails, you need a strengthener. If you have short nails, then you need one that specializes in growing your nails out faster. But other than that, you really have to decide what it is that you need for your nails. So I hope that this video was informational. And if you have any questions, of course, you can comment below or hit me up on Instagram. I'm always game for answering questions. So I hope this helped, and I appreciate y'all watching. Thank you.